recording? All right, it is definitely recording. Okay. All right. So we should be good. All right, bro. How's it going, man?
But okay, just I have a lot of stuff I'm juggling, but I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good, bro. Same here.
Uh,
Always
uh,
juggling a lot, you know. But good. Just working on lots of music, man. Working in the studio, putting a lot of hours in right here in the studio. And yeah, man, just locked into making this music, bro.
yeah, you.
Yeah, man. Try to get out every now and then, come out of the studio every now and then and like just
Mhm.
be out in the real world for a moment.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah. But I love it though, man. I love the studio life.
Same, same, same.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely juggling some things. So we got the beat, right? The beat still being
Yeah.
made. So I
Mhm.
gave feedback on that. Any other updates since then, or is he still working on applying those updates?
Yeah, I think he's applying. I think he sent an email. I guess sending saying that he's probably gonna work on it. But one thing I will say is um, I'm not sure about like one thing is like I love his enthusiasm and that's amazing for me to have someone who's excited to work with me, and um that's always key. And I also know that it's not easy, production is not easy, but it's also I'm trying to figure out like what's going on as far as like the communication with us in regards to the notes and stuff like that. And to be honest, I feel like I'm not sure if he's rushing or not, but every time like I send him a new set of notes, it's like he already come back with some a file to send me, and it's like, well, did you have enough time to like digest what was being said on the, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
as far as the notes and stuff? Because it's like it kind of feels so fast. It's like I know it's like people have fast turnarounds. I get that, but it's just like I don't know. It's like I just kind of feel like to me it feels rushed, and it's like this some of the same things that were problematic on the last one was still showing in the demo. Well, yeah, the rough production. So I'm unsure about this whole process with the producer thing. It's just I'm not trying to be like negative at all. Like I know it's coming along, but it's just like I thought he would have nailed it by now
yeah.
with the direction that we gave him. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. I don't.
I totally get where you're
Um.
coming from. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like there's levels to this whole audio thing that we're doing. You know, like um, there's a lot of producers that would have nailed it on that first
Mm.
round because you already gave them a reference track to go off of. So like I use references all the time. It's like a big part of like my workflow. Like studying and breaking down something and like knowing how to recreate that sound. Or pick whatever elements that you want out of it and knowing how to replicate that. And his was so far off
Mhm.
on that first
Yeah.
one. And to me, apart from the time response thing you're talking about, to me it's a lack of experience on his part. You know, that's to me what that shows. Like to have to give so much feedback on like, okay, this is first
Mhm.
of all the tempo was slower. That's
Yeah.
a big one. Like the slower the tempo is gonna make it feel not as aggressive right there. That's a big one right there. Not the same tempo. And then the piano stuff is like so washed out. It was a complete opposite
Mhm.
of of what the reference track was. The reference was like in your face, boom, and then his is like in the backdrop, and it's like tons of reverb, so it had this atmospheric sound. So complete opposite vibe of what the reference track was. The reference track was like gritty, it's in your face, and then what was the other one? I think I gave some feedback on the kick and the snare. I was talking about the snare on the last one, like the snare still being really weak. I almost sound like a little thin clap instead of a snare, like a
Mhm.
boom bap type of snare, which is what this track is. This track is like a
Yeah.
boom bap instrumental, like East Coast boom bap,
Mhm.
you know. And so to me, this I can definitely see his lack of experience. That's a big part of it. The other part, like you said, he couldn't. Maybe he's not spending as much time on it. But even if he was,
Yeah.
it's still a lack of experience, on his part, which is which is slowing things up. It's good that he has that hard. Well, I don't know how much time he's spending on it. It's good. It's cool that he's willing to keep working on it, but at the same time, it's like we have this music manufacturing assembly line that we have going on,
Yes.
and a chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Mm.
And so, like, we could be killing everything. The engineer who's mixing it could kill it. We could be killing on the songwriting stuff and vocal production and stuff like that. But if you got someone like the beat maker who's holding stuff up, it throws everything else off. Because we're constantly ahead of them, waiting for them to catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so true. Yeah.
And so, it is what it is. Like, there's been a lot of people I've worked with in the past where, like my students are working with someone else and we end up having to let that person go because it's not like they're not willing to work or whatever. They just can't keep up. They're just not at that skill level yet to be able to keep up with what we're trying to do or be doing it on the level we're doing it at, and that could be what's going on, like it's like because I know I've been that person at certain points of time in the past. Like I had to be new at something at a certain point in time where I just couldn't deliver the same results that other people that's been doing it longer than me could, and it's funny, like on the way up, it's like starting off, your prices are like really cheap,
Yeah.
and so that's a pro, but also it depends on who you're working with, because cheap price, it reflects maybe your experience level and you're trying to be competitive with your pricing,
Yeah.
and then as you get better, your prices typically go up, and you pretty much put a flag in the ground and say, look, I've dedicated this much time to my craft. I'm really good at what I'm doing. This is the price I'm putting, and I know everybody won't be able to afford this price, but this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And then you can't work with certain artists once you do that because that's not going to be their budget. So for them, it'd be better to work with that newer engineer or that newer producer or whatever who's just getting kind of started, who's like very cheap, or maybe he ain't charging nothing at all. I did that for many years too.
Yeah.
I did stuff 100% free for many years.
Yeah.
I produced in high school. I was already producing albums with like local rappers and stuff like that. It was all for free. Just I was fans of theirs, and I didn't know much about this whole thing, and I was just glad to be in the room with them, with people I was a fan of their music already, and I was learning a lot being around them, being in the mix and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and he definitely showed with how long it's taken him to get this beat right. He's showing a lack of experience on his end, whether he's spending a lot of time or not. See, here's the thing: when you're really good at something, it shouldn't take you that much time anyways. But it's the lack of experience. Like he could be taking a lot of time and still could be messing things up because he don't have the ear to hear certain things yet.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious to me because this is like what I do all the time. I hear very fine details of this music thing. I can take a beat and I can deconstruct it, and I'm like, okay, I understand why it sounds the way it sounds.
Yeah.
So I know how to replicate that. And like you seen the notes I was giving him, I'm like, look, remove some of that reverb off that piano. If it still sounds off, then if it still sounds off, it may just be the wrong piano. You may need to pick a different piano altogether for that sound.
Yeah.
You made it because there's many different piano sounds, so you don't just have to stick to whatever the first piano you picked out was,
That's so true.
I was playing around with some guitars yesterday with one of my students who's learning the guitar. And like I'm running some sessions where we're kind of jamming out. I'm jamming out with my virtual guitar over here, and I'm like kind of like I'm scatting with guitar, and like helping give him riffs and stuff to play off of. But just the guitars, it was like 30 different guitars I could choose from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like 30 different ones, and that's a big part of beat making is sound selection.
Yes.
It's picking the right sounds. It's not about having a bunch of sounds. It's about picking the right sounds that complement each other and deliver what you're trying to go after. But But yeah, I mean, that may be something that you need to consider is like maybe looking for another producer that can speed things up a bit, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm glad we're having these sessions on a weekly basis, because that's also one thing that's you know I definitely know that when it comes to this, like the music stuff, like we're on it, right? Working on the flow, delivery, like we're on it. So that's not an issue. The issue is more of like when you have to outsource other things, and it's just like, okay, now how long they're taking to do things. Like now, I almost, even though I almost want to go back to the other producer, because even though the last session wasn't so great, at least I could say I'm like, as much as I paid for it, and yes, his price went up, but I was happy with the product of what he delivered on the production. Like it sounds like upbeat, like somebody's gonna be like, oh, like it's like a bob, head bob, like
Yeah.
one of those, and everything sonically, even that transition to the from the hook to the bridge is so like seamless,
Yeah.
um everything was just so like nicely put, and then the piano, it just kind of gave it a whole different vibe for the bridge part. It just kept it, it wasn't up there, but it just kept everything like very calm, so that like when the bridge comes out, it hits hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like settled. So those are the things I loved. I almost want to go back to him and see if he wants to. I don't know. I know it's like, because I need, at least I know I worked with him and he gave me good products.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. I know how he's worked. We worked before. Besides our last issue, that as well as communication is concerned, but that's not gonna be a problem because we already have the details already
Yeah.
down packed
Exactly.
already. So it's not gonna be an issue about communication.
Right.
So I don't know. I know he's a little bit more pricier than the one I'm working with now. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm
That's
trying to figure out what to do.
yeah, that's like yeah, like I was saying, that's
Oh,
that's how it goes, man. Like
yeah,
the prices and stuff, it's just
yeah,
part of it. Like, cause like with producers too, is like you got as far as the whole making beat game goes, is like most producers just want to make beats that they can lease out. That way they can just lease as many of them as they want to as many people.
yeah,
But when it comes to like making custom beats, that's a one
yeah.
off. Like that beat is just for that artist and that's it. Like there's no more revenue that producer's gonna make off of it unless that artist, you know, does something with it and like really puts it out there and it gets like in a movie or a video game or a commercial or it becomes a hit song, you know, unless that happens, they see no more money off of it. Off
Yeah,
except for whatever they get paid up front for making it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so that's why a lot of producers don't even want to do exclusive beats because there's so many artists out here who never actually push their music and promote it.
mm,
And also a lot of artists don't really have a budget, to be spending money like that on anything like custom. So that's why leases are such a great option for artists that are starting out, who don't really have a lot of funds and stuff like that. And then, but for the ones who are making custom beats, like I was saying, then you're gonna have different prices. You're gonna have your producers who aren't as experienced or haven't really built up their name or whatever as producers and don't have a lot of clients. Maybe you do have some out there who's really good. They just don't have a big clientele yet or something. You know,
yeah,
their prices may be more fair. So that's just the caveat, as they say. Usually you get what you pay for. Usually,
mm,
not always, but usually.
yeah,
Um, and then it's time is another thing too. Think about that.
mhm,
Like think about just with this one producer making this one beat, how much time we've had to spend talking about it.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I'm just like, yeah,
yeah, that's still costing you money as well because it's like during our sessions where we could be focused on working on the next song or something like that. We're
right,
still having to kind of help like lift this person up and kind of get them up to speed.
yeah.
You know, and so
Yes.
so yeah, pros and cons, just different things to consider. But yeah, yeah, he's yeah. Yeah, definitely may need to look for another one. I've had the same issue
Yeah,
with mixing engineers too. Same issue, man. Where I'm like, my students are paying me to give feedback on a mix. I'm like, bro, I don't even know if I should be giving you feedback because this is like going to take a lot of time because I'm having to teach them how to mix a song. Like, that's what they should already be doing. Like, this is way too much feedback to have to give a mixing engineer. If this is what they do as a career,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be good at this already. Like, I shouldn't have to be
Mm.
telling them all this stuff that's wrong with it. They should already be knowing this stuff. Like, there's a certain point where it's too off, and I'm like, we just need to, you know, count our losses and move on.
Yeah. Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm like almost to the point because I'm like, this is taking a little bit way too long. I'm no like God give me patience, but I'm like, man, this must have been like the third revision already,
Yeah, it
I
is.
believe, or fourth, or I think it's the third, but
Yeah, I think I've given.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it was
it's
my
the third.
third time giving feedback. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we already
yeah,
gave him direction to start off with.
yeah,
So you already gave him input that set him up to be successful.
yeah.
This is what we're going for. These are the things that we're trying to implement and stuff like that. And so, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what else more can you do? You give him
Mm-hmm.
all the right answers. You tell him, give him all the direction, but it's on him to execute it. If he
Yeah,
can't execute, he just can't execute.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not because of a lack of
Mm.
direction. It's not because of a lack of communication. It's just a lack of experience. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see where he is on this next revi. I mean, I gave some pretty. I gave some more detailed feedback uh, on that last one, so we'll see where it's at. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be dope if
yeah,
if he can get this one out the door,
yeah,
and maybe you could still use this beat, and then moving forward, you just don't use them for any more beats after that, you know.
yeah,
Or I mean,
yeah,
or let's say he just for whatever reason it clicks and he finally knocks it out the park on this one. Then maybe
yeah,
you use them every now and then
yeah,
for like one beat, instead of doing all the beats because it'll slow
yeah,
things up still probably.
yeah. That's a good. Yeah, that's a good perspective perspective to have because yeah, I was undecided. I'm just like I thought he would have nailed it, but yeah, let's see. I just don't want to have to like switch producers mid production
Yeah,
because of the fact that he's been working on it. But then it's just like I can't. I need to get this project going. I just don't want to. I don't want to wait another month for another production. It doesn't make sense to me. I want
yeah,
to move on to the next songs. I still have four more songs I want to get done to record
yeah,
for this project. And I feel like this is taking a lot more longer than my other stuff.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Or here's another idea is what you could do on this last line of revisions to see how far he gets, and regardless, just say, okay, look, thank you so much for all your work. We can call it done. Give me all this track outs for the whole beat,
yeah.
and then we can take that, and then I can finish the beat off. Just take
Oh, okay.
take whatever he has, and then we'll just finish it off on this end, and
Yeah. Okay.
we'll get it done. So
Okay.
that way it won't all be for a loss. Like I think he did a great job on the intro. I
Yeah.
like how the outro is, and we just got to get that. The main thing is just like the piano elements and stuff, and the
Yeah.
kick. Bam! We need that kick freaking hitting you in the
Hmm.
chest, man. That snare popping,
Yeah.
you know. And it's not that complex of a beat. It really isn't,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say let's just do that. Just say whatever he delivers it, we'll just
Hmm.
call it done at that point and just get them track outs from him, and then we'll take it from there and finish it off.
You think I should pay him for like the full or just
Oh man,
because it's not like fully finished.
I
So I don't know
mean,
how that would work on that. Like as far as like the payment and stuff, because yeah, he charges 600 for full production, but because it's not like finished and I'm not satisfied with it, I don't know what to do as far as like what would be reasonable. Um,
yeah, I feel you on that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. That's how I would love for him to just nail it, because this would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like a tricky.
Yeah, some people, yeah, it's kind of iffy because it's like some people will say, "Look, I will." Some people have like a guarantee on their work where they're like, "Look, satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't like it, you don't pay for it, or you pay half, or something like that." So they still get
Yeah,
something for their time, but you're not paying the full amount. You
yeah,
know, and I don't know what his agreement was if that was
mm,
on there, but
yeah,
it could be kind of awkward if that's not his agreement, and you're like, "Hey, I'm only paying you half," and then he feels like you
yeah,
slighted him, but you
yeah,
didn't get you didn't get the product you was hoping that you was gonna get.
yeah,
So it's like you didn't get what you wanted from it, and so it's like, well, should he get fully what he wanted if you didn't get what
yeah,
you wanted? Because it's
yeah,
I feel like good business is when it's good for everybody, and so like
yeah,
it's not good for you to pay the full amount and you still didn't get, what I'm saying, what you paid for.
yeah,
You paid for a finished beat that was
yeah,
done. He couldn't deliver that.
yeah,
So I mean, to me it would be fair to be like, look, you didn't nail it, but I still want to pay you something for your time. I still value your time. How about I pay you half?
mm,
You know, and see what he says there. He's like, because
yeah,
he's like, I'm gonna have to still spend time to finish it off. To
yes,
get it finished. Still got to spend more time. And time ain't free for none of us. You
yeah,
know, we all paying time.
yeah.
So,
Also
uh,
true.
see, I don't know. You could try that angle and see if he's, because I mean, if he's being honest, he can listen to the reference track, hear his track, compare the two, and say, okay, yeah,
Mm,
mine
yeah,
doesn't sound as good as that one.
yeah,
You know, so yeah, yeah, how to handle that situation. Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel you. I feel on that.
mm,
It's an awkward situation, isn't it?
yeah.
It's an
Because
awkward
it's
situation.
like I don't want to feel like you know what I mean, like the bad guy, out the bad guy. But like you said, I didn't get the full product. Um, and I only, you're supposed to only pay for a full completed project, and then they send you the track outs and everything. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I feel you. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's because he's. It's not like he's. It's not like he's saying I'm not gonna work on it no more. It's done.
yeah,
You know. So it's like, what do you just keep on making them like endless amounts of
hmm,
revisions until he gets good
yeah,
enough to finish it? Like
yeah. That's almost like
a few months from
that's the
now.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing about the unlimited revisions. Like it catches my eye, but then it's like to what to the extent of like, okay, do we say okay this six, seven time? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like if you have a limited revisions and you're not happy and it's taking you so long to, you know what I mean? Like it's time wasted on both ends, right? Because
Yeah.
you're not happy and um the producer's not nailing it, and they're investing time as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
The unlimited revisions too is
yeah,
another kind of signal of a potential lack of experience. Because usually, like let's say engineers or producers and stuff like that, like we know how to deliver a certain sound. So we're gonna put a cap on them revisions because it's like because some people are just indecisive, and that's why you put a cap on revisions. It's like, okay, I'm working with someone, but they don't even know what they want. You know what I'm saying? And they're coming to me for my sound and my expertise and my skills, and I'm delivering on my end. I'm killing it on my end, and they don't know what they want on their end, so they keep wanting me to experiment with stuff.
yeah,
They kind of they want to be the producer themselves, but through me, and they don't know what they want. And I've worked with people like that before where I'm like, bro, like you asking me to like make a whole nother song now. Like that's
No.
we can't do
Uh-uh.
that. Like you're wasting my time. Like that's not what we started off with. Like
Yeah.
you didn't I recorded this one guy one
Yes,
time
yeah.
before I started making videos on YouTube. I was just working with like local rappers from Atlanta and stuff like that. And I recorded this one guy and I recorded the song, I mixed it, and he said, man, I just don't like the way I rap my verse. Can I re-record my verse? And I was
Whoa.
like, dang, I mean, that's a whole nother recording session. That's a whole nother mixing session. And so me being a nice guy, I was like, all right, we'll do it. Hold on one second. What's up, Shawty? Okay, you drive safe. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I was being the nice guy, and he recorded again, and then he did it again after that. Like after he re-recorded, he was like, I still don't like the energy. I'm
What?
like, nah, bro.
No.
And I can't do that. And that was the last time he ever worked with me. Once I told him we can't keep doing. And after that, I had to put a cap like on that stuff because of that dude. He didn't know what he wanted coming into the studio.
Yeah.
Like you treating the studio session like it's your own like personal studio that you can just come into anytime you want, and like you ain't having to pay nothing extra. Like this ain't unlimited time. You know, you need to know what you're trying to achieve. You know, that's why we had to put a cap on it. But for someone who's like, yeah, I'll do something for you, and there's like unlimited revisions, that can be kind of a red flag, kind of showing that, to me, that says that I'm willing to take however much time I need to take to make sure I do this up to your standard. That's what that's how I kind of interpret that. They know going into it may take them a lot of work to achieve the results that you need.
Yeah.
You know, or that you don't have like a lot of clients, so you have a lot of time. And so you're willing to take as much time working on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So that's part of it. The better you get at something, the less time you had to spend doing it. And so, you know, you're not necessarily paying for that person's time. You're paying them for all the time it took them to get as good as they are. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
You're paying for them 10, 20 years they've been doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they know exactly what instrument to grab, what plug-in to grab, and get that certain type of sound. And boom, 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 done. You know. So yeah, yeah. I say, let's just see what he comes back with on this last revision,
Yeah.
and maybe we can kind of discuss it from there. But
Yes. Okay.
yeah, I definitely see your point on like paying the full price for something when you didn't receive the full product.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't receive what it was that you've paid for. You received some of it. You know, we definitely could say he accomplished some of the stuff he needed to do, but he wasn't able to get it to the finish line. And so you're gonna have to take more time and invest more time into getting it to the finish line. You know, so I think that's only fair. I think that's fair. Must be raining out there in New York. There he is. There he is.
So,
But yeah, I was just kind of wrapping up my thought with that one, saying, yeah, I say, you know, see where he does with this last revision, and then from there, if he can't deliver, you know, see if he be cool with just paying half because you didn't get the full thing, and you're still gonna have to invest more time into actually getting it completed. You know, I think that's fair. You're paying him for his time, and he's still giving you a break on the price because he couldn't deliver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just see where it goes from there. Just kind of, you know. Oh, real quick, I wanted to
Yeah,
double check. I want to
yeah,
confirm. Um, they say there's no such thing as over communicating too much. That's a good thing. So as far as our upcoming sessions, you were telling me
yeah.
4:15. Um, did you want to keep doing it on Wednesdays?
Yeah, that makes sense. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's
Like just
totally
having
cool.
the same day and the same.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. I just want to
Okay.
double check and make sure it was Wednesdays that you were saying and not
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Yeah. It was actually yeah. I actually made the mistake. Like it was supposed to be this Thursday and next Wednesday, but I I totally I've totally mixed up the days. So I did Wednesday because I thought oh okay it's uniform Wednesday, but it
I
was
got
actually
you.
supposed to be Thursday of this week, and then but it still worked out. But I guess
Yeah, it's cool with me. Like either
yeah.
either one was fine with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in for Wednesdays. All right. So this Wednesday already obviously locked in because we're talking right now, and
Yeah.
then I already got it for next Wednesday, and then I'll just keep it going after that for the 17th. That's the following Wednesday. So let me just go ahead and do that. Duplicate that for the 17th, and that will repeat weekly. Weekly on Wednesday. Save, invite, and then you're going to also get a cancellation for the Thursday ones. So I just
Okay.
send an invite for all Wednesdays, and then I'll delete the Thursday ones. There we go.
If
Delete.
anything like a schedule change happens, like I'll definitely let you know prior
Yeah, yeah, that's no
in
problem.
advance, just in case if it's like a schedule conflict. But I definitely like you said, it's no like over communicating is also good too, just
Yeah,
to make sure we're on the same page with the dates, because I know it could get a little bit crazy with schedule and stuff.
yeah. And life happens. I totally get that.
Yeah,
We'll work through all that stuff. We'll figure. We'll pivot if we have to
yeah,
make it work on a given week if something's happening or something like that. So cool. I got that. And then one more thing.
yes.
Any updates at all on the mix for Stigma?
Not yet. I didn't hear from back. I did pay him and stuff like that, so he did get the payment. So I didn't hear back
Okay,
yet. So
I got you.
I'm probably gonna give it, but he did say it was gonna take about 2 weeks, so I'll give some grace and some time on that. So I definitely expect to hear something about hopefully in the next couple of days,
Yeah,
even if it's like a rough something, just so I can hear it.
yeah,
Um, what it sounds like,
yeah. I'm
but
looking forward to checking that out because
yeah,
he's somebody that I followed on the on YouTube and stuff like that. He teaches mixing and stuff too. But one thing I like about him is he does like creative things. Like actually, both the engineers I was suggesting, they both do like creative stuff. So they don't just like do the bare minimum.
yeah,
They're artists in my opinion. Like they're mixing engineers that are like artists.
nice,
They can
okay,
be creative. I like creative engineers.
yeah,
They'll go beyond just just balancing everything. They're like, oh, let me try this idea out. Let me see if I can add this effect in there and do something kind of cool right here or whatever.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like those type of engineers. Okay, cool. So I think that's pretty much that. Was there anything else
Yeah.
before we jump back
Mm,
into like working on the polish
yeah.
and stuff like that for the mental abuse track? Was there anything
Uh,
else that we needed to discuss?
um, I think I did have questions, but I think I had it on the other sheet. It was more like um, I don't remember the questions. Questions I had. It was about this is like quick questions about like distributor, and then as far as like the lyric video, like does it have to have like the intro on it, like the words, or should I not? Not really.
Oh, for the well, so yeah, so kind of speaking to like two different things. One is you can have like different versions for different
Yeah.
things. Like let's say I don't know, let's say you wanted to create some TikTok videos or something like that, or you wanted to create some shorts for like YouTube or something, and so you're trying to keep it like within a minute or something. Where you may have like obviously a different version for that particular type of platform, or just an edited version of what you already have. Like you just cut out the intro or something and just have like maybe it's just the intro is a video, you know, or whatever. You can chop it up in different ways to kind of repurpose the song and kind of create more social media content out of it. But for a lyric video, I would still put the lyrics for the intro. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I would still do that, even though it's not like, you know, you're not rapping it,
Yeah.
you know, per se, but it's still a part of what's being said in the track.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, I would still do that for the lyric video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it as a yes. Okay, so I'll definitely. And then the last one was like the distributor. I'm leaning towards DistroKid because I just hear a lot of people speaking about it. Even Wendy Day was talking about it. As far as like one of the best out there.
Yeah.
Versus I guess TuneCore.
You got
Um,
TuneCore, DistroKid,
um,
CD Baby is another one. Yeah. Yeah, I use DistroKid. Like to me, the major advantage of DistroKid is, I mean, it's just the price, really. Like it's like, from my understanding, it's an unlimited amount of uploads per year. It's like a flat rate, opposed to TuneCore, which I've used TuneCore. TuneCore, you pay per upload. So, like, I recently left TuneCore because DistroKid sponsored a few of my videos, and I just switched. I just switched after that. I'm like, because I had already had a few of my students telling me about TuneCore, and they use TuneCore. I'm like, well, I can't justify paying, like, honestly, seriously, almost for like one song, I was paying the same amount I was paying DistroKid for like unlimited uploads and stuff for the whole year. You know, I think it was like, I can't remember, it was like $15, $20, something like that for a full year or something on DistroKid. And TuneCore, I was paying almost that for like one song.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I say go DistroKid, bro. They're very affordable. And yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, because I heard that you could also do like the release dates on their platform as well.
You can schedule it out, like when you want
Yes.
things to come out. Yeah, you can have it uploaded like however long you want in advance, but it doesn't come out until a specific date. That way, because if
Yeah.
you want to have, you know, promotional stuff you want to roll out to build up hype and stuff before it, and then it drops on a particular day.
Yes.
You know, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can do that with DistroKid.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, and you can make sure all your, you know, if you want to change the look of all your different pages, like your Spotify and stuff like that, if you want to change all that stuff out, you can have all that stuff coordinated. It's a lot of work, especially if you want to create a rollout. You know, it's a lot of work to have everything in sync. You know what I'm saying? Organized and stuff ready to go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say go with DistroKid, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
From the research I've done, I don't see why not, man. CD Baby was like one of the first ones back in the day. CD Baby. Then TuneCore, I found out about TuneCore, and then DistroKid, I found out about them afterwards, and they seem to be the cheapest. Because CD Baby was really popping when everybody was still doing physical CDs and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, that's how I found out about CD Baby, like back then. Like Disc Makers was popular.
Mhm.
You remember Disc Makers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just be fantasizing, looking at them. Oh, I'm gonna get this type of CD put out.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna get this insert right here. I was like, man,
Yup.
this is gonna be fire.
Yup. I feel you on that one.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. But yeah, I say just rock with DistroKid, bro.
Yeah.
They don't own me. I did a couple sponsored videos, but I still recommend DistroKid. You know, no one. I'm not for sale. You know, they can't just buy me and I just start recommending products and stuff just because they pay me a little bit of money. But I love DistroKid. They've been great with me so far. I haven't had any issues.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. I appreciate that because I don't want to be in my head about it, but I definitely was leaning towards Disco Kid. But I just wanted to like just get another opinion because I know you have stuff already out, and I don't really have stuff on any platform besides SoundCloud. So
Yeah. Yeah, another cool thing that not CD Baby, DistroKid, it allows you to do, I don't know if the other ones do this. They might by now. But you can do splits and stuff on DistroKid. So let's say like you wrote a song with someone, or like you're working with a producer or something like that, like what you are in your case. You can put all that information in on there, and so that way you get splits for like like let's say you got you wanted to split things up so everyone got like a certain percentage that wrote a song or something like that. You can do that inside of DistroKid, and it can have it to where it distributes the funds to the different artists that are on that song.
Oh yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that too. That it's they have it like where you could do multiple things on the platform and not have to worry about using a different I guess company to do it
Yeah, yeah.
on your behalf.
Yeah, they kind
Just
of
use
take
that
care of that on
platform.
the
Mm.
streaming side of
Yeah.
things, and then you have what what you call a pro, which is a performance rights organization, which we were
Yes.
talking about before, like BMI and
Yes.
stuff like that. And so they keep
Mm.
track if it's getting played like in movies and commercials, and even clubs are supposed to report what they play in the club, like all that stuff. Oh, I think I lost you. There you go.
You
You're
there?
back. You're
Yeah.
back. But yeah, even clubs are allegedly are supposed to report what they play. They're supposed to pay for the music they play in the club, and then they report that to the pros, and then they collect the money. So like, DistroKid is kind of doing it on the digital side. So like,
Yeah.
keeping track of streams and stuff like that, like how many streams you got on Spotify, and then splitting that ad revenue up and stuff amongst the different artists and stuff. And then BMI would do that, but for like radio and commercials and movies and clubs and public venues and stuff like that. So it's like two different places that are both collecting stuff for all the songwriters and producers on a song. They just do them kind of in different mediums.
Yeah.
They BMI is more like in the physical world, and like DistroKid and stuff, all that's more in the digital world.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That
You know
makes
what I'm saying?
sense.
Yeah. Did
That's
you have
cool.
any other questions for me?
Yeah, I guess when it comes to like how far do you and advance do you prep okay like signing up the song for a pro, like you could do it before the actual master is done, or would you do it after the master is done, as far as like getting it on their platform?
Oh yeah, if it's like
Um
if everything's already like written, then yeah, you can go ahead and like register all that stuff if you wanted to. The thing you would probably want to wait for is the copyright. Like if you want to get stuff copywritten,
yeah.
then you can just upload. I think Wendy Day was talking about this before, where you can like pay a flat rate to like copyright a whole album or something like that. And
Yeah.
so you pay a lot less than you would if you were to do it song per song,
Yes.
like
Yes.
individually, one at a time.
Mm.
So you can do the whole album, because part of the copyright is the recording and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the copyright. So yeah, on the pro side, I don't think you would have to wait. I'm trying to think if there's any reason why you would need to wait. I can't think of any reason why you would have to
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I'm thinking of is they have these things, I think it's called IRIC codes or something like that, where they keep track of. Man, it's been a minute, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a minute since I was like digging into like the distribution side of things. But I know there's basically these IRC kind of codes that you embed, or it gets embedded into your songs once you go through, like I think it's once you go through like a DistroKid or something like that,
Yes.
and then it keeps
Yes.
that's what helps keep track of things and stuff. You wouldn't need that for copyright, but you want to probably wait until it's finished, like it's everything's mastered, and then you copyright everything after that, because you're copyrighting the master itself.
Recording. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what masters are. It's just the record. That's, if you hear some artists now, they're like going back and re-recording old songs of theirs, getting it remixed, and that way they own the master to the new version of it.
Oh wow.
So
Oh wow.
because these labels, they own the masters, most of them, And so, but they still may own the songwriting portion of it. So some of these dudes are going back,
Yeah.
guys and gals, and go back and re-recording and getting new masters so they can do stuff legally with it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
But yeah, so you definitely probably need to wait for the copyright side of things for that reason, I would think. Um I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not 100% sure on the pro side of things if you would need to. I'm sorry, what was the initial question about the
Um,
pro
just the
side?
pro. Yeah, like because I know it's just just to register. I know it doesn't have to do anything as far as copyright is concerned.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
Just to
yeah, I don't yeah, I'm sorry. My mind was kind of
yeah.
drifting from pros. Remember earlier I was talking about how the pros and DistroKid are kind of doing a similar thing but in different mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pro, I don't see no reason why you'd have to wait for the pros.
Okay, just to,
Because it's all just data. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? It's just data. And you can just do it. You're just putting in information. You're basically taking your split sheets and just putting them in online for them to know, and like putting in everyone else's information as a part of that song that helped write that song and stuff, like whatever their ASCAP or their BMI number is and stuff like that. The name, the name of the songs and stuff. So yeah, I don't think you'd have to wait for that. I don't see no
Okay.
reason why you would have to.
Okay, so I could just jump on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I say so.
And then I guess one last question about the copyright would it make sense to do it like on my own, but just because I know there's a lot of YouTube and stuff videos that speak about that, or should I hire like someone to like like an attorney or something, an
Um,
entertainment field to do it to make sure everything is like the way
yeah,
it's supposed to be?
yeah, I don't think you would have to because
No, really.
everything you're doing is like custom. Like you're getting all these beats made, um, and you don't have anything in any of your songs that are that are copyrighted from other pieces of work or something like that.
Okay.
So like it should be pretty straightforward. Like it's
Yeah.
typically the way you do your splits. Um, that's kind of on the pro side of things, but so typically the copyright goes to you own the recording, you own the writing side of what you've done, and typically whoever made the beat, they still own the copyright to the beat. So
Even if
typically,
they work for hire?
well, that depends on the
Oh, because it's
paperwork. It depends on the
because yeah.
paperwork. Work for hire,
Uh,
yeah. If it's a work for hire, if they've given you a contract that says you have the legal, like you own the
yeah.
copyright to it, because exclusive rights is permission, it's not ownership. When someone says exclusive rights to a beat, they're saying you have exclusive permission to use this beat under these circumstances
Oh,
or whatever, but it doesn't give you the ownership of it. So you
okay.
still basically saying true exclusive rights is like this is exclusive to only you. Like
Yeah.
if they've already been leasing that beat online, and then you buy the exclusive rights to it, I mean, basically just saying no one else can lease it moving forward after that. It's still not that exclusive if it's already been leased out to 100
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? Because they all could be uploading their songs on the internet, and then you come out with yours later on, and it's not that exclusive. But work for hire does mean that they don't own the material. Like let's say usually work for hire, a lot of times you hear it a lot for like session musicians. Like if you hire someone to play guitar or piano or something like that, you're paying them to perform basically.
Yeah.
So it's a work for hire. Some
Yes.
producers do that, but that's very uncommon in the music industry.
Yeah.
It's very uncommon because it's all about ownership. And so like most producers, like a Timbaland for an example, or whoever,
Yeah.
they own the music, they own the instrumental, except for like samples and stuff like that. They got to pay that out to whoever they got the sample from. But typically it's a partnership. So it's like you own what you made basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like you own songwriting, like especially the way it breaks down in publishing, is songwriting is considered who composed the music and who composed the lyrics. And those two people own the song together. So like sometimes there may be 3 or 4 different people who wrote the song. You'll see these in the credits in the song. They'll say like 4 or 5 people wrote the song on the lyrics, And then you may have 3 or 4 producers on a song, especially Drake. If you look at his credits sometimes, he'll have like 8 people on one song that are all getting paid from the writing portion of it. You know? So that's common. That's totally normal. Where if typically producers who maybe they're not as far along in their career, they might do some work for hire stuff. But typically most producers that are somewhat established, they typically aren't going to do a work for hire as far as signing off the rights or the ownership. I'm saying they're giving you the right to use it, but usually they're not giving you ownership of it. Like they will still own the copyright to it.
Okay, that's I think that's another session for me. That's just like, wow, that blew my mind.
Yeah,
Cause
that's
I
a
know,
common
yeah,
misconception, a common one.
yeah, cause that's what I was saying. Cause I was speaking to the last producer, and he said, "Oh, you don't have to credit me for the beat."
Well, yeah, that's definitely like is that the original producer you was working with?
Yeah, the first one for the Understigma.
Really? I'm surprised he
Yeah,
said that.
yeah,
Hmm.
and he even says that on his thing, in his Sound Better page. You don't have to credit me. And from what I know, it's a work for hire. From what I know. Um, as well as him, I haven't really worked with anybody else besides him. As far as the producing is concerned,
Yeah.
so I'm just like trying to make sense of everything.
Yeah, I mean if he's saying that, I mean he might be doing a work for hire situation to where
Yeah,
it's like you
mm,
own 100% of the beat. You know, like you own it. Like
yeah,
you own the copyright to it. You know. But so yeah, that's rare though. But he might be one of the ones. There are people out there doing it. I've done it a few times in the past. You know. But yeah, but that's way uncommon. 'Cause it's all about ownership. That's this whole music
yeah,
business is all about ownership. That's how
yeah,
all these artists get screwed out of these labels. Like
yeah,
they try to own as much of that music as they can.
yeah.
That's what happened with
Mm-hmm.
Skee-Lo back in the day. When Skee-Lo, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. That album was freaking popping in the early '90s. He's a new artist. Got one of the hottest songs, period, top of the charts. Finds out the label is trying to take a majority of his publishing. He made the beats to all of his songs and wrote all the lyrics. So he ended up suing the label he was with, and he won. And he was suing them for the ownership portion of it because they're trying to say they own the beats that he made himself. So he's a rare example as an artist that's pretty much doing it all himself. You know, there's some artists like that where they make the beats and they write the lyrics. They own 100% of that song. You know, but there's a lot of times where the producers are making more money than the artists because there's a lot of artists out there who don't even write their own lyrics.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like TLC is an example of that. That's why they had such a bad deal because they wasn't producing much for their songs. They were the face of it that was selling the song. So they were almost like the rapper, like on a pack of
Mm-hmm.
cookies. They were the rapper that was
Uh,
selling it and making it look really good and cool and stuff like that. There was a lot of other people who made the songs, you know, who wrote them. Like Organized Noise made Waterfalls. They made that beat. So the producers for Outkast, that was an original Outkast beat. Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, and then they ended up giving it to TLC, but they didn't write the lyrics either. So they don't really own too much of the song. They're kind of more like work for hire in
mm,
that situation. But it's all about ownership, and ownership is all about who contributed what.
yeah,
You know, typically the way it works. Everyone who made the beat, they all get their portion of the song, and everyone who wrote the lyrics, they get their portion of the song. That's typically how it works.
okay, makes sense. So,
Kanye West he's known for being like extra generous. That dude, I've heard Sci-Hi the Prince, who writes a lot for Kanye. He said if you're in the room with Kanye West and like you say something that inspires an idea from Kanye, he'll write you in on the publishing. Like he'll give you a percentage of that song
wow, that's interesting.
because you was there and contributed to ideas and stuff, and I think that's dope. You
Yeah,
know,
wow.
so yeah, But that's a big common misconception because you hear exclusive rights and you think rights is like ownership, but rights is like permission. But when they say copyright, like ownership, they say words like ownership. You own the beat. They say stuff like that. It's in writing. You own the beat. Like you own the copyright to it. It's yours. It's your property now. You know. But usually it's a partnership. It's like, okay, you and I both work together on this song, or we both own it together. So if it gets put in a movie, I'm getting a piece of it. If I made the beat and you wrote the lyrics, we're both getting paid off of that song together. You know.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's why it's usually bad. If you look at the story of how a lot of rappers came up, in the beginning it was all about the DJ, early hip hop, going back to your neck of the woods. You know, it was all about the DJ. The DJ was the one rocking the parties. You know, the DJ was the star. You know, and then like Kool Herc, he was like one of the first DJs in hip hop. He was the first one that really created looping. He called it the merry-go-round, where he would take these two different records and he would have two of the same records, and he figured out a way to extend them by starting one where the other one left off, or starting one in a certain place and it plays, and he has another one that starts in the same place he originally started at. And that's how he was creating a live loop. He started doing all the turntablism, and then he realized that there's a lot of work being the DJ and also MCing the parties. You know, the MC, the master of ceremonies. So he's over here trying to be on the mic, and he's trying to work. He doing all this for the turntables. He's working. He's sweating. He's like, I need someone just on the microphone, and that's where the MC came into play. And I believe they call one of the first MCs is a guy named Coke LaRock, and he started freestyling and stuff, and that's where he started rapping over these beats and stuff like that. And so it's interesting the kind of the story of how DJs used to be like the star, and then that's how rappers kind of emerged. And then now, you know, rappers needed the beats. A lot of times the DJs were making, even if you look at a lot of producers today, like Little John and stuff like that, a lot of producers are also DJs.
Yes.
They kind of go hand in hand. And so but the main point I was making is if you look at a lot of artists that come up, a lot of them come up from an artist working with a producer. They both come up together, you know, because they're mutually invested into their songs. They both need them to be successful to make themselves successful, you know. So like if you look at Outkast, they came up off of Organized Noise. Organized Noise was making these dope beats, but they needed some rappers to rap over these dope beats they made, you know. Manny Fresh was that for Cash Money Records. Obviously, you know, Dr. Dre, you know, with Eminem and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's like a partnership. It's like we need each other. I need your beats. You need a dope rapper to rap over your beats. Let's do this thing. Now, if you Michael Jackson, he's like, nah, you don't own nothing. Like, your name being featured on my song is enough for you. On a song with Michael Jackson, you know, he's like, no, I own the whole song. Like, I don't care. You wrote it, you played the music, I own the whole thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, you getting a cosign from me. Like, that's your payment right there.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, look into that some more and just make sure, like, read the contract, check out the contracts and stuff like that. Do y'all have a written contract? The producer that's doing the work for hire stuff?
The one from the last one, no.
Okay. Definitely
definitely
get some type of contract from him because you don't. That's very important because you don't want somebody coming after you later on if something pops off and they're like, and this happens all the time. All the time. There's so much shady business that's done in the industry where people be rapping over beats they don't even have permission to even use. And they'll just be coming out with a song. They don't even have permission to use the beat. And then a producer comes along like, bro, I made that beat. Or what are you talking like? And a lot of these producers just send off beats to these rappers. Just send them tons of beats. And so they might be in the studio just going through different beats that all these producers are sending them like, oh yeah, that one. Let's go ahead and record something over. And boom, next thing you know, it's being mixed and it's being released. and they don't even have permission to use it. They did no paperwork, nothing. And so either they settle out of court or they go to court and get sued over it. But usually they settle out of court because court costs a lot of money and people ain't trying to be paying all these lawyers all this money.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah, if you can, definitely, I mean, try to get something on paper stating that, hey, you know, stating the terms like, hey, if I own this outright, can I get that on paper with your signature on it? You know, because you don't want it to be a your word versus theirs
Yeah.
later on, because people can act different, especially if they see you start making money with something.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
remember
so true.
Panda,
Yeah.
designer
Mhm.
Panda? Shout out to designer with his crazy ass. I don't know what the hell he's up to right now. I don't know if you caught that. I ain't gonna repeat what he's been doing on planes and stuff like that. But anyways, don't even worry about it. But Panda, that song blew up, and he leased that beat off, or he bought the exclusive rights to that beat for $300. Panda. And people was like, dang, that producer got screwed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing I'm talking to you about right now. It's like, dang, he only got paid $300. This dude making millions of dollars off of the song. Come to find out, that producer was being taken very well care of because he still owned the rights to that beat. He sold him exclusive rights. He didn't sell him ownership of it.
Mm.
And so once again, it just comes down to that ownership. That song was being moved in being used in commercials, movies, everything, video game, all that type of stuff. Both of them dudes got paid very handsomely off of that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something else.
Same thing with Old Town Road with Lil Nas X. Same thing. Huge hit song. He didn't make that beat. I don't know if he leased it or got exclusive rights or something, but whoever made that beat, they got paid very handsomely as well. Also, that's a part of the reason why I make beats, because I learned this a long time ago. I was like, I want to own this. I want to own all my songs when I come out with them. That's just good business, you know. And that's why I don't like to use samples, because typically samples, you got to give them a percentage of your songs to use a lot of samples a lot of times. So, you know. But yeah, but hopefully that gives you a little bit, to think about. But yeah, look a little deeper into it, and see if you can get that paperwork on the beats and stuff like that. Paperwork, contracts are like locks on doors. They're only for honest men.
Yeah.
That's who they're for. They're for honest people. Because the criminal's gonna be a criminal. They don't care if your door is locked or not. They're gonna tear that thing down. They keep honest people out.
Yeah, that's a note to self. I need to pen that down because that's good.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And that's funny because I think I emailed him about that too, but he never responded. So I'm gonna jump on that again and see what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Check into that for sure. That's a huge one. Like as far as preparing for everything, yeah, you definitely want all your paperwork and stuff to be good. For sure. All right. Trying to find our document for the mental abuse. I think I may have put it in my Richard folder. Let me see. All right, mental abuse, updated lyrics. And was there any other questions that you had, Richard?
No, I think that was it.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see if I can change. Where's your main screen? I'm just trying to change the way we look on our video to make us a little bit larger when I'm sharing my screen with you. Let's see, boom, 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 boom. I'm just trying to change the way we look on our video to make us a little bit larger when I'm sharing my screen with you. See, boom, 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 boom. All right, let's see if I can change. Unpin. Unpin. There we go. I think I got it now. All right. And you see my screen on your end, right?
Yes.
All right. Cool. 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 All right. I am going to switch over my recording view so we can see my screen. Cool. And I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then I'm gonna jump right in. Okay.
All right.
I'll be right back. Mic check.
All right.
All right, let's get it. All right, so many screens over here. Let me find my lyrics. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna start off by playing, or what we currently have. I can't remember if I was sharing my listen to. No, I wasn't. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna play what we have so far, just to kind of get a refresher. And okay, here we go.
Mistake. You won't amount to anything. You're just a loser. Cause you will never make a difference. You will never make a difference. Your tongue was like a murder weapon, never concealed. Pointed fingers at your tongue was like a murder weapon, never concealed. Pointed fingers at you never made me heal. Be the position in my room, empathy you lack. Waited on your validation, this only held me back. I was the console, gave you the controller. Desired to lack. Waited on your validation, this only held me back. I was the console, gave you the controller. Desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get my teary eyes. Assume you were the devil, but blessing in disguise. When you questioned my text, I had the coldest regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough. Mental abuse, this mental abuse. I will not tolerate your mental abuse. Mental abuse, this mental abuse. I refuse to confide in you.
Oh yeah, so that let me talk about that part real quick. So that's the part we were trying to extend on the verse right there, right? Because you remember what that producer was talking about with the length of the loops and stuff of the melody. So like this melody is like a 4-bar melody. And so if we cut the verse where it currently is, it kind of throws it off as far as where the melody loops back around and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. You mean the first verse? Got you.
So we need about 2 ways to fix that. One, you write 4. Was it 4 or 5?
It was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
Yeah, 4. So you need 4 bars to fix that issue.
Okay.
It's either that, because that'll make it what, a 16-bar verse, I believe.
Yes.
Right? Because before it was like 12 bars. Yeah. So we'll need 4 bars for that part right there. Let's see. I'm gonna make a note in here. Still enough.
Inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
Okay, yeah.
Inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
Now, let's see. Need 4 bars here. So like the way that I would fix that, first thing I would look at is the ending of what you currently have. Because if you really love the way it already ends, then we can still keep that as the ending and go back a little bit further and write up to what you already have as the ending.
Okay.
That'd be one way to approach it. Kind of like what we did last time too. Remember, we was kind of filling things in a little bit more, and we wasn't just writing in a linear fashion. I was kind of bouncing around, like trying it from different angles. Like, hey, let's place this one here, and we'll move this line there, and so that's one. I'm just gonna write a note here. Need 4 bars here. Could write 4 bars to go before the. Could write 4 bars to go before or after the lyrics you already have at the end of your verse currently. So I just put a little note there. And then, so what I'm going to do, I say just for time's sake, so we can knock out as much as possible during our session, I'm just going to keep going through, and I might re-record some things here and there to kind of polish some timing things up, or I might hear some enunciation that could be clearer. Like, I'm going to go ahead and do all that type of stuff. And then anything that I feel like will be a little bit more time consuming, like writing something like that, for an example, I'll just make a note of it, and that'll be a part of your homework to work on, like in between this session and our next session.
All right.
My goal is I want to try to get through as much of the polishing stuff as possible on this one, and then something like that, creative stuff like that, where creativity takes time, and so I'll leave that for homework, and then we'll see where you are next session. And so you'll take the polish and stuff I do today, and then you'll be working on trying to implement it, and then like stuff like that. Like if you need to write a couple more bars, work on the 4 bars, and we'll see how that sound in the next session. That sound cool?
Yes.
All right. Let me just go back. I'm gonna make a note here for that too, right here. All right.
Never make a difference. Your tongue was like a murder weapon, never concealed. Pointed fingers at you, never made me heal. Be the position in my room, empathy you lack. Waited on your validation, this only held me back. I was the console, gave you the you lack. Waited on your validation, this only held me back. I was the console, gave you the controller, desired to be back. I was the console, gave you the controller, desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You told me back. I was the console, gave you the controller, desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to. I was the console, gave you the controller, desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You told me I
like the wordplay right there with the console and the counseled.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's very good wordplay. Because you're also talking about them playing games without having to say you play games and stuff like that, you know?
Yes.
And you're also talking about control and stuff like that, giving control. I like that. That's a lot. That's really good.
I was the console, gave you the controller, desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You told me I gave you the controller, desired to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier.
Yeah, so I would rework the felt like stronger soldier, little bit, can't talk, never felt like, because you wanted to say the strongest soldier, but you had to kind of take that out to make it fit. And so currently it sounds a little bit unnatural how you would normally say that. So I would rework it just to get it to sound a little bit more natural, how you would normally say it. So let's see. Let me check that out.
So gave you the controller. Desire to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier.
All right, that part right there.
Desire
I want to try to keep as much of what you currently have.
you the controller. Desire to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You the controller. Desire to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You the controller. Desire to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. You the controller. Desire to be constant, never felt like stronger.
All right, so either A, I'm gonna change the cadence up a little bit. B, say what you're saying in like less syllables, like one less syllable. Will make room for the V that you had to take out. Let's see.
View the controller. View the controller. The console gave you the controller. The console gave you the controller.
Desire to be concealed, never felt like this.
The console gave you the controller.
For the pepper, read the rap and the raven tapping your poker.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get materialize. Assume you were the devil, but blessing in disguise. When the console gave you the controller.
Desire to be
The console gave you the controller.
Desire to be concealed.
The console gave you the controller. I had to be constant, never felt like
Counseled.
soldier, never felt like stronger soldier. You desire to be constant, never felt like stronger soldier. Desire
To
to
be counseled, never felt like the strongest.
gave you the
The controller
controller.
desired.
Gave you
You
the controller.
Desire to be counseled, never felt like.
Gave you the controller.
All right, so one thing I may do is I may rap a little bit before with controller and go straight into the next line without any type of pause, and that might be the easiest way to make it work.
Gave you the controller. Gave you the controller.
You say controller.
Gave you the controller.
I may try to cut off controller just a little bit, like make it a little bit shorter.
Gave you the controller. I was the console. Gave you the controller.
All right, let me see here. I was the console.
Console gave you
The
Tell me
controller.
bad.
I was the console, gave you the.
Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be concealed.
Tell me bad. Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you the.
Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be concealed.
Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you.
Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you.
Tell me
that.
bad.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
Tell me bad. Tell me bad.
I was the console, gave you.
Tell me bad.
I was the console. Let me update these lyrics too. It's kind of throwing me off because the lyrics don't
okay,
match
thank-
what you said in
Tell me
there.
bad. I was the console. Gave you the controller.
I was the console, gave you
Oh yeah, okay.
the controller.
Oh yeah,
Desire
the
to be
controller.
counseled, never felt like the. Okay, cool. I got it now.
Tell me bad. I was the console. Gave you the controller.
Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
Tell me bad. I was the. Only help me bad.
I was the console.
Waited on your validation. This only help
Help
me
me
back.
back.
Waited on your validation. This only
Help me back. I was the console, gave you the controller.
Waited on your validation. This only help
Help
me
me
back.
back. I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You waited on your validation. This only help
Help
me
me back.
back.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You
Alright,
told
I'm
me-
still ironing it out a little bit. It's almost there.
Waited on your validation. You lack. Waited on your validation. This only help me back. You lack. Waited on your validation. This only help
Help
me
me back.
back.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me
That was better. That was a little bit
you
better.
lack. Waited on your validation. This only help me back.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me
Yeah, I like that. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, sounds smooth.
Yeah.
Good.
you lack. Waited on your validation. This only help
Help
me
me back.
back.
I was the console, gave you the controller. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded
Yeah.
desperate.
Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate.
Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get materialized.
I actually got a little bit of space. I could drag out Soldier a little bit longer if I wanted to. Because there's a little bit of space between that and where you come in. Felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I
Never felt like the strongest soldier. You felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get my.
Felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get my. You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get materialized.
Felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I.
Felt like I'm gonna keep it like it is now, just in case I want to play around with that space that we have left. But
Yeah.
I never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get materialized.
I never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I sounded desperate as I tried to get materialized. With Zoom.
I never felt like the strongest.
Materialize, but as I try to materialize.
So you said as I dried, yeah, materialize.
Yes.
Okay, as I dried, yeah, materialize. You told me that sounded desperate. As I dried, yeah, materialize. As I dried, materialize. All right, so yeah fills it in. So that's one way to execute that. Another one is you eliminate yeah and you hold dried a little bit longer, because dried is a word that you normally would stress a good bit. Dried.
Yeah.
To get that
Yeah,
out.
dried.
So I'm gonna try removing yeah, because it's not necessarily necessary to use
Yeah.
to convey what you're trying to say. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try it that way and see how that sounds. I think it's gonna sound good.
Something desperate as I try to materialize.
Because see how dried it feels a little bit short now.
Something
Yes.
desperate as I try to materialize.
All right.
With Zoom,
So let me just like the strongest soldier.
you told me I something desperate as I try to materialize.
Like the strongest soldier.
You told me I something desperate as I try to materialize.
Like the strongest solder.
You told me I something desperate as I try to
Like the
materialize.
strongest soldier. You told me. So desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier. Desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier. You told me I sounded desperate, that's a drive. My desire to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier. You told me I sounded desperate, as I drive my teary eyes.
With Zoom,
Yeah, I like that. And then dried now, because you was already rhyming dried with eyes, but it didn't pop out as much because you didn't give us much space to dried as you do eyes. So now they occupy about the same space, the same amount of stress, the same amount of sustain, dried, and eyes. And now it pops out even more like, oh, you just rhymed twice right there.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense though.
Because 100% it rhymes on paper, but when you stress it out like that, when they have the same amount of stress and the length to them, it helps them sound more like a rhyme. Check this out. I had to be counseled, never felt like the strongest soldier. You told me I sounded desperate as I drive my teary eyes.
with Zoom, you
Yeah.
with the
Hear that?
Pops out more. Yeah,
Yeah.
pops out more.
Yeah, and compare it to the old one here. Never felt like the strongest soldier.
You told me I something desperate as I try to materialize. With Zoom,
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they rhyme, it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
feel like they rhyme as much on that one.
Yep.
Like the strongest soldier, like the strongest soldier.
I
sounded desperate as I
try to.
Let me just mute this one up here. A soldier, you told me I sounded desperate as I drive like the strongest soldier. You told me I sounded desperate as I drive my teary eyes.
With Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise. When you question
My teary eyes.
with Zoom, you were the devil but
I cut a little bit of your voice off right there. Let me just bring that back in. Or I think yours got cut off in your recording. Eyes.
with Zoom, you were the devil
Yeah.
but blessing.
Eyes.
With Zoom, you were
Oh,
the
no, I think you did it. You just maybe kind of slurred it a little bit.
eyes. With Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise.
All right. Eyes.
With Zoom,
Presume.
you were the devil but blessing in disguise.
Eyes.
With Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise.
Eyes.
With Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise. When you
Eyes.
with Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise. When you question
All right, I could probably just polish that up a little bit.
blessing in disguise. When
Blessed in the sky.
with Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise.
Drive my teary eyes.
With Zoom, you were the devil but blessing in disguise. When you question
Yeah, I'm gonna try to, cause you had to eliminate a few words to get it all out. But what you originally wrote, I'm gonna try to get closer to what you originally wrote right here.
Okay.
Because originally you said, "But you were a blessing in disguise."
you were
Yes.
the devil but blessing in disguise.
But blessing, yeah. So I'm gonna try to get closer to how you naturally wrote it.
Mhm.
You notice a trend here, like how I put a lot of emphasis on how you naturally say something.
Yes.
It's really important. I feel like to kind of connect with the listener, because you don't want it to feel too much like you had to chop up what you were saying too much to make it work.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
My teary eyes.
With Zoom, you were the devil but
Presumed.
you were the devil but with Zoom, you were the devil.
And so there's a slight pause too after presumed. And so I'm probably going to eliminate that pause, because I'm probably going to need that pause, because I want to try to bring back them words that wouldn't fit. So that's one of the keys, is I'm going to try to take that pause back. Let's see. My teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. My teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. My teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, but you were in disguise. My teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, you were my teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. My teary eyes. I'm gonna check the space after this part. Effort in disguise.
When you question my text, I heard when you question
Rob my teary eyes. Rob my teary eyes. Ride my teary eyes, ride my teary eyes. Presume you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise.
When you question my text, I heard the
All right, so I can fit it in there. So here's the pros and cons. I can fit it in there, but the skies will get pushed back a little bit. We have the space for it, but the skies won't land in the same spot as eyes. It'll land a little bit later. So that works, but that's the little caveat to it. It'll land slightly in a different place, which is okay. But so that's one option. The other option is we reword it a little bit to use less syllables, but not like compromise it too much to where it doesn't feel natural, you know, or where it feels unnatural, I should say. So presume you were the devil, but I feel like it's pretty much as small as you could possibly get without taking it too much. Presume you were the devil. Presume, or I mean, you could say if you said thought you were the devil, that gets rid of a syllable with presumed. You told me I sounded desperate as I drive my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. That might. Let me try that actually. Ride my teary eyes, ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. Ride my teary eyes, thought you ride my teary eyes. Let me try that out real quick. Ride my teary eyes, thought you ride my teary eyes. Thought you were a blessing, but you did ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise.
when you
Ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise.
when you question
Let me crank that up a little bit. Ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise.
when you
That works. Ride my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise.
when you question my text, I heard the coldest regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't.
Told me I sounded desperate as I drive my teary eyes. Thought you were the devil, but you were a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that works well, and it's still on beat too.
Yeah,
And I liked how it has that gap, like at the end, like the pause, and it goes right into the next
yeah,
lines.
yeah. I'm very mindful of where things begin and
Yeah.
end at. Like you notice a lot of times, like sometimes I'll be reworking stuff in the middle of a bar of yours, but I keep it landing exactly where it ended originally. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very mindful of like where things are positioned and landing at, you know? Especially like I'm always mindful of what's the bar after and then where's the bar before it, you know? And then that way I can fit perfectly in the middle of it. But that works great. Let me keep playing. And in disguise.
When you question my text, I heard the coldest regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that when you question my text, I heard the coldest regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
I think all that works too.
Regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough. Look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
All right, still voice. I may add an A in front of that. A still voice inside of me, rehearsed. Still voice, or there's a still voice. Still voice inside of me. I may try that narrative that I rehearsed. A still voice inside of me, or yeah. Because you're speaking in the past tense. A still voice reminded me that I was still enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, so maybe a still voice. A still voice
A still
inside of me
voice, right?
reminded me that I... Say what now?
No, like you said, like that sounds good. Saying a still voice,
Yeah.
rather than leaving a still voice. Yes.
Yeah, because that way it's still in the right tense. Yeah, because if I said there's a still voice inside of me reminding me that I was still enough, it wouldn't line up tense-wise,
Yes.
you know? A still voice. Okay, let me see here.
When you question my text, I heard the coldest regret. Couldn't look in your eyes, my life ain't no Russian roulette. Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of
Still voice inside of me. Da, 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 da.
The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still married to the I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still
enough.
Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I
The
rehearsed.
still voice inside of me reminding me.
Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I rehearsed. The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
Reminding me I'm still. Reminding me I'm still enough. Okay.
Narrative that I rehearsed. The voice narrative that I
A
rehearsed.
still voice inside of me reminding me I'm still enough. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Narrative that I knew it was time to rip the narrative that I
I rehearsed. The
rehearsed.
still voice inside of me reminding me I'm still enough.
Knew it was time to rip the narrative that I
The
rehearsed.
still voice inside of me reminding me I'm still enough. Yeah, I like that internal rhyme too. You got in there. Inside of me reminding me. Nice.
I didn't even know I was doing that. I guess I was just like, it just came out naturally when I was rewriting it. It just came out like I wasn't even noticing that because usually when I do, I underline the words.
Yeah, that's because you're such a
so-
rapper. You just do it. We really do. We speak in rhymes.
Yeah, like some of the stuff I don't even. I mean, the other ones on top I did underline, but the last part I only underlined the question and regret. Oh,
Let me see how I rapped it because I noticed it and then that will affect how I rap it because I want it to pop out more. You know, I'm curious if it may have already been popping out. I didn't really notice it until I started rapping it on my end. Let me see.
The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
Yeah, I hear it.
The voice inside of me reminded me I'm still enough.
But I emphasized it more. I put a little bit more emphasis on the rhyme. It's a still voice inside of me reminding me I'm still enough. Here I go
Yeah,
up higher on
inside
them.
of me.
It's a still voice
Yeah.
inside of me reminding me I'm still enough.
fair enough. Yeah, I like
They
that.
gave it a lift. That's when I was like, oh, yeah, it's rhyming. I didn't notice it
cool.
until I was rapping. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even know when you put when you mentioned that, I'm like, oh, sure, it does. I guess because, like you said, like we're so used to it that we don't even notice that we're doing it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Even in like natural talk, we're just like, oh wow.
Yeah, we're so used to doing it. We don't think nothing about it.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me keep playing here.
Abused this, that's not the life that I choose. You told me I was poised and armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering in shame.
I like how you change your cadences up right
What the-
there. I funny when the proper toss up tops the brain. I from the cast of the past and right pertain.
You told me I was poised and armed and
First two,
aimed.
okay.
Refused to live my life, cowering in shame. Double dose the more.
I'm trying to find. This is verse 2.
Yo, did I? Oh my God, did I?
Yeah, this verse 2 says woke up. in
Oh, okay,
cold
that's
sweat.
why. Okay, cause I rewrote the song 300 times. So let me give you the right verse. Lord,
Oh, I see it down there. It's,
trying to be a perfectionist. Yeah.
yeah, I see it down here.
Let me just put that in the bottom just in case. We're ready. That should be.
Open the post and life pertain. All right, cool. Appreciate that.
Life that I choose. You told me I was poised and armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering in shame. Double dose the motivation, double dose cowering in shame. Double poised and armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering in shame. Double
All right, you say cowering, and then because it has my head, but I don't think you say head right there. Refuse to live my life, cowering. What do you say?
Cowering. Oh, I didn't even. I guess when I did the demo, I didn't say it. Okay.
poised and
That's
armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering in shame. Double dose the motivation.
Oh, okay, I didn't put head. Okay.
Yeah, what do you say right there? You're saying life, cowering.
Refuse to live my life. Live my life cowering in shame.
Cowering in shame. Okay.
I was
Yeah.
poised and armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering in shame.
Oh, I see. Cowering. Yeah,
Cowering in
you
shame.
I got you. Cowering.
Instead of covering my
cowering.
head in shame. I mean,
We could
I mean,
fit. We could fit
right?
head in there if you wanted.
we could probably make a fat.
I think what it was is you was trying to follow that cadence pattern. You already had it going with it. Pop for late for lame. Hit the top of the coward head, cowering and shame. I think that's what you was going for.
Yeah, I think so because it sound like a lean towards that way when I was recording it.
Yeah, we could try it both ways and see which one we like.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with adding to a cadence and like making it a little bit more dense, which this is what that would do if we added the head in there. or we can keep it the same as the last one if you want it to be very,
Yeah.
like identical to the other one.
Gotcha.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Told me I was poisoned, armed and
Shame.
aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering and shame. Double dose the more. Told me I was poisoned, armed and
Yeah,
aimed.
I'll just record it with the head in there, and we can kind of compare the two.
Okay.
I think it's fine the way that it
Armed
is.
and aimed.
Okay,
Refused
okay.
to live my life, cowering and shame. Double
Yeah, coward.
dose. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Dose. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Double dose. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my dose. Poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Double dose the.
All right, no wrong answers, but let's just have a shootout now. Let's listen to them.
You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering and shame. Double dose the motivation to me. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Double dose the motivation to
Both
make it
good.
through my nights. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed. Refused to live my life, cowering and shame. Double dose the motivation to make it. You told me I was poisoned, armed and aimed.
Refuse to live my life, cowering my head in shame.
Double dose the motivation to make it through
They're
my.
both good.
They're both
They're
good.
both, yeah, they're both good. I guess for I don't know. Number one, the first one sounds I don't know. I like the cadence of number one.
Just stick with it. Stick with it. Don't
Yeah.
don't overthink it. They're both good. There's no wrong answer here. Let's go with that one.
I'm gonna change the lyric.
I will wait in shame. Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. I will wait in shame. Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives. Woke up in shame. Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives. Woke up and coast. Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives. Woke up to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives.
Yeah.
Woke up.
Didn't gets a little bit slurred right here, so we need a
Yeah.
little bit more enunciation on that.
Double dose the motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from.
I think we got enough room to get it though.
There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives. Woke up and shit to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives.
Yeah, I can slightly just shift the cadence just a little bit to kind of get a little bit more space in there.
Motivation to make it through my
Nice.
nights.
Those pills on my counter didn't.
Motivation to make it through my
Nice.
nights.
Those pills on my counter didn't stop me from saving lives.
Woke up and cold sweat.
Just a slight adjustment. Just a slight adjustment.
Motivation to make.
Wow.
And that fits a little bit better now with the didn't.
Motivation to make it through my
Nice.
nights.
Those pills on my counter didn't stop me from saving lives.
Woke up and cold sweats. Question. Motivation to make it through my nights.
Those pills on my counter didn't stop me from saving lives.
Woke up and cold sweats. Motivation to make it through my nights. There's pills on my counter that stop me from saving lives. Woke up and motivation to make it through my nights.
Those pills on my counter didn't stop me from saving lives.
Woke up and cold sweats, questioned if I lived a lie. I would use my voice, even if it shakes tonight. Your words would never again have a hold on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving of free. Woke up and cold sweats, questioned if I lived a lie. I would use my voice, even if it shakes tonight. Your words would never again have a hold on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving of free. Your words would never again have a hold on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving of free on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving. Have a words would never again have a hold on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving. Words would never again have a hold on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving of free, writing a different narrative for my life on me. So lifting my head up high, cause I knew I was deserving of free, writing a
I think all
different.
that's good. I don't think I have to touch that.
I knew I was.
And I just want to listen to the part we did last week because I remember we killed this. So let's just enjoy the fruits of our labor for a moment. We murked this.
I was deserving of free, writing a different narrative for my life.
My inner peace was not indicative of the role you played last night. The movie, your reality, became a master key. Unlocked some inner demons that's inside of me, the self-worth inside of me. You could never lie to me, try to inject your venom when you would try to confide in me. But a blessing was on the other side of the Zoom screen. Thank God for those who held space when I didn't want to breathe.
Mental abusive, mental.
Me, the self-worth inside of me. You could never lie to me, try to inject your venom when you would try to confide in me. But a blessing was on the other side of the Zoom screen. Thank God for those who held space when I didn't want to breathe. To inject your venom when you would try to confide in me. But a blessing was on the other side of the Zoom screen. Thank God for those who held space when I didn't want to breathe. On the other side of the Zoom screen. Thank God for those who held space when I didn't want to breathe.
Mental abuse.
Out of the Zoom screen. Thank God for those who held space when I didn't want to breathe.
Mental abuse.
I like
This
that.
mental abuse. I will not tolerate your mental abuse. Mental abuse. This mental abuse. I refuse to confide in a noose. Mental abuse. This mental abuse. I will not tolerate your mental abuse. Mental abuse. This mental abuse. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose.
Let the bird
I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me. No, that's not the life. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I life that I choose. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in. I am enough. I am enough.
I'm just going to slightly change this other I am enough. I might be able to move it as it is, like you're recording. I might just be able to shift it in time.
I am enough. I am enough.
The am feels a little bit early.
Yeah.
This one right here. I'm just going to move it over a little bit.
I am enough. I am enough.
A little bit late now.
I'm enough. I see. I am enough. I am enough.
I'm just going to re-record this one just for time's sake.
I see the life that I choose.
I am enough. I am enough.
I see the life that I choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me, cause I own the master key, never needed your consent. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me, cause I own this mental abuse. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me.
I got one idea I want to play with right here, and I'm curious if we change the timing of this last and I've had enough. If we change the cadence of it just a little bit, I'm just curious to see how this will sound. I've had enough, and I've had enough. See.
I am enough. I see worth. I am enough. I see worth to me,
and I've had enough.
And they value me. I am enough. I see worth to me,
and I've had enough.
And they value me. I am enough. I see worth in me.
And I've had enough.
I am enough. I see worth in me,
and I've had enough.
And they value me, cause I own the master.
I am enough.
I see worth the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life that I choose.
I'm gonna do this too, just as a place.
No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's you. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, that's not the life.
Right there. I'm gonna cut. Oh.
Not the life that I. not the life that I choose.
I'm just kind of creating like a manual delay right now, just to put a little placeholder in here. I'm kind of thinking about the mix.
Life that I choose. Life that I choose. Life that I choose. No, that's not. No, that's not the life that I choose. No, choose. No, that's not the life that I choose. I am enough. No, that's not the life that I choose. I am enough. Life that I choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me. Choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me,
And I've had enough.
and they value me cause I own the master.
And let's just focus on this last thing I changed up a little bit. This allows it to end a little bit early, and it makes it feel just a little bit more aggressive because it's not as stretched out.
Yeah.
So it adds like just a different dynamic to end it with, kind of. But no wrong answers here. It's just the idea I had. Let's check it out.
The life that I choose. I am enough. I am enough.
Oh, that was the one I redid right there.
The life that I choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me, and I've had enough. And they value me cause I'm the life that I choose. I am enough.
I am enough.
I see worth in me, and I've had enough. I am enough. I am enough. I see worth in me,
And I've had enough.
and they value me cause I own the master key.
What you think?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It's a subtle
Yeah.
subtle change, but it just gives it a different little energy on that end part.
Yes.
All right, let's keep it in.
I see worth in me,
And I've had enough.
and they value me cause I own the master key. Never needed your consent to look out for me. I was the biggest blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse. I stopped playing the victim card once I.
And I've had enough.
And they value me cause I own the master key. Never needed your consent to look out for me. I was the biggest blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse. I stopped playing the victim card once I found my worth. I'm so grateful you taught me self-worth for lifetimes. No longer reach from.
Enough.
And they value me cause I own the master key. Never.
All right, I'm looking for this third verse.
Oh, let's see.
You did rewrite this 100 times.
Yeah, I did.
And that's it. That's how it is, though. That's a creative process. It's messy.
Yeah, it is. I literally have that's why that last file I had was like, I don't know how many pages. I don't know if it was just like copied and paste some down. It was like 60 something pages.
I feel you.
I was like, whoa. Let me just. I think that's yeah. Yeah. Don't need consent to look out for me. Yeah, I started changing the lyrics. I kept the cadence of the beginning part. They can devalue me because it was like, you can devalue me because I hold the master key. Don't need your consent yet to look out for me. I like how it sounds like sonically, as far as like, it's a little bit ear candy for me. So, but I ended up changing the lyric. But I was kind of like, wanted your opinion on like what sounds better, because I didn't want to like go for the new lyric, but the new lyric has more I don't know, more substance, I guess, in a sense. But then I like the way the other original
You like the
sounds.
flow, like the flow of the original.
Yeah.
Better? Well, maybe we can figure out a way to get both of them. You know, that's my motive. It was like, okay, well, maybe we can make them both work somehow.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so verse 3 currently. Is it?
You can devalue me because I. So it starts with the it's
Don't need your
I mean,
consent to choose me.
well, it's yeah, that's the changed version, but the one on the Astro demo was, you can devalue me because I hold the master key.
Yeah.
Never needed your consent yet to look out for me, or something like that. Yeah, to look out for me.
Okay.
I see worth in me,
And I've had enough.
and they value me, cause I own the master key. Never needed your consent to look out for me. I was the I see, and they value me, cause I own the master key. Never needed your
All right, so
and they value me, cause I own the master key. Never needed your consent to look out for me.
the new one is don't need your consent to choose me on
Yeah.
the first line. In bed,
Yes.
clinging to the vision God bestowed upon me. Okay. No,
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
don't need. No,
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
no.
And they value me,
All right, so I'm already seeing one way we can make it work. So we're gonna have to add some words to it. No,
and they value me,
and what we gotta do is align the stresses in the right places to make it feel
Yeah.
right. You know. No,
and they value me,
I don't know. No,
and they value me,
no,
and they value me, cause I own the master key.
no,
And they value me,
no,
and they value me,
no.
and they value me,
No,
and they value me,
no,
and they value me, cause I own the master key. Never,
no,
and they value,
no.
and they value me, cause I own the master key. Never need,
Don't need your consent. No,
and
don't
they
need your
value me,
consent.
cause I own the master key. Never need,
Don't need your consent to, but choosing, but love it. Don't need your consent to, to me. Don't need your consent to, blah blah. To, but love it. I don't need your consent.
So they value me?
I don't need your consent. So you're saying don't need your consent to
Well,
choose
to-
me, right?
Yeah.
Don't need your consent.
So-
I don't need your consent. But choose me. So it's to choose. Devour me, choose me. So choose is one syllable. Devour me.
let me see.
Don't need your consent. Yeah, if you say of me, that's already close. Don't need your consent. Don't need your consent to be different version. Don't need your consent to be the best version of me. Yeah,
me,
that's close
right?
actually. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's see. That might work.
and they value me, cause
No.
and they value me, cause I own the master key.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master key. Never.
No.
And they value me, cause I own the master key.
No.
And they value me, cause I
All right, let me just take out choose me. Don't need your consent because we're close. We don't need your consent to be the best
Yeah.
version. So we still got like maybe like a couple of extra syllables. Don't need your consent to be the. Don't need your consent.
To step into the best version
Don't
of
need
me.
your consent for me to value me. You can say that. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
and they
Need your
value me,
consent
cause
to
I
be
own the
No.
and they
Need your
value me,
consent
cause
for
I
me
own
to
the
value
master
me.
key. Never.
Don't
They
need
value
your
me,
consent
'cause
for
I
me to
own the
value
master
me.
key.
Yeah, that would work. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
Oh, okay, I like that.
So it's conveying the same thing, just different words.
Yeah.
And I've had
Yeah.
enough. Need your consent for me to value me.
Never
Let
needed
me
your
know
consent to look
No, no consent.
the master key.
No,
And they value me, 'cause I own the master key.
No,
And they
need
va-
your consent. No, need your consent for them. No, need your consent for me to value me.
Never
No, I need your consent. No, don't need your consent.
me,
And I've had enough. Don't need your.
me,
And I've had enough. Don't need your consent. There we
Me.
go. And
Right
I've
on the
had
front.
enough. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
me,
And I've had enough. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
never me,
And I've had enough. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
never needed your consent to look out for me.
And then we say, in bed clung unto the vision God bestowed upon me. Okay.
Me,
And I've had enough. Don't need your consent for me to value me.
never needed your consent to look out for me.
And so kind of keeping that same cadence on this first half. That dip it, tap it, tee.
Never needed your consent,
Never did it. In bed clung unto.
never needed your consent to look out for me. Never needed your consent to look out for me.
Bestowed upon.
Never need to look out for me.
Look out for me. Bestowed upon me.
To look out for me.
Bestowed upon me.
To look out for me.
So bestowed upon me will work. That God bestowed upon me.
To look out for me. To look out for me. Needed your consent to needed your consent to look out for me. Needed your consent to look out for me.
Bestowed
Needed your consent to needed your consent to look
bestowed
out for
upon me.
me.
So it'd
Needed your
be bestowed upon me.
Needed your consent to look out for me. Needed your consent to look out for me. Needed your consent to look out for me.
in bed, clung onto the vision.
Needed your consent to look. Needed your consent. Needed your consent to
Bestowed
look out for
upon
me.
me.
Needed your consent. Needed your consent to
Bestowed
look out for
upon
me.
me.
Needed your consent to
Bestowed
look out for
upon
me.
me. I just wanted to grab that real quick. So in bed, clung unto the vision God bestowed upon me. In
Maybe
bed, clung unto the
maybe.
vision. Clung onto the vision. Yeah. Clung onto the vision God. Yeah. Be to value me.
Never needed your consent.
Be to value me.
Never needed your
The
consent
vision.
to look.
Be to value me.
Never
Be to value me. I
Never
just clung
needed your
onto the
consent
vision.
to look.
Be to value me.
Never
Be
need.
to value me.
Never
Clung
needed your
onto the vision
consent
that
to
God
look.
stole. Be to value me.
Never
Clung
needed your
onto the vision
consent
God
to
stole
look out for
upon
me.
Be to value me.
Never needed your consent to
Bestowed
look out for
upon
me.
Be to value me.
Never needed your consent to
Bestowed.
look out for
I think we almost got it. You me. You me. Look up to the vision. Be sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me. I just clung onto the vision God stole upon me. Sit for me to value me. I just clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the sit for me to value me. I just sit for me to value me. Just clung onto the vision God stole. Sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me.
Never needed your consent.
Sit for me to value me.
Never
Clung onto the sit for me to value me. Clung
Never
onto
needed
the
your
vision
consent
God
to
bestowed
look out for
upon
me.
Sit for me to value me. Clung on sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me. Sit for me to value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me. Bestowed upon me. Value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me.
I was the best.
Value me. Clung onto the value me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me.
I was
Value me, clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me. Value me,
never needed your consent to look out for me.
value me, clung
Never
onto the
needed your-
vision God bestowed upon me. Don't need your consent for me to value me, clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me.
I was the
How's that sound to you?
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bestowed upon me. Clung onto the vision God bestowed upon me.
Upon me.
I was the biggest blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse. I stopped playing the big.
Upon me.
I was the biggest blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse.
Now I'm trying to find these lyrics. Where are these different lyrics too that we gotta convert? Don't need your consent for me to value me upon me.
I was the biggest
Yeah.
blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse. I
Yeah, I
stopped playing.
changed the lyric again.
Okay. So shoulder back, chin up power, stem from shifting my body, stopped playing the victim card. It's not what I'm choosing to embody. All right. Now, is this something that we need to follow the same cadence, or are we going a different cadence on this one?
I think we were doing different cadence from what I did on the demo.
Okay.
I would have to hear it back again because I haven't heard that demo in a while.
Okay.
I was the biggest blessing, yeah, never the biggest curse. I stopped playing the victim card once I found my worth.
Yeah, for sure. Because body, in body, and my body, they're all more syllables at the end of the bar
Yes.
than what you rap there. So it's definitely going to
Yeah.
be a different cadence for sure.
Yes,
I was the
it's
biggest
definitely
blessing,
dance.
yeah, never the biggest curse. I stopped playing the victim card once I found my worth.
All right. So
I'm so grateful you told me self-worth for life.
God bestowed upon me. Shoulder back, chin up, powers have been in my body. I'm still believing in blapping it for the choosing body.
I'm so grateful you.
I'm just scatting a little bit. God bestowed upon me. God bestowed upon me. Shoulder back, chin up, power stem the fruits of my body. Living the breathe upon your rapidly bestowed upon me. Shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what you do in body. Bestowed upon me. Shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I'm choosing to embody.
I'm so grateful.
I'm trying to get that embody in there close to the same spacing of my body, but it's almost there. Bestowed upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Stop the believing choosing to bestowed upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, that's not what I choose to embody. Bestowed upon me, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Bestowed upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my. Bestowed upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power stem from shifting my body. Bestowed upon me, power stem to the top from the shift in my body. He stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shift in my body. He stole upon me, shoulder. Now, did you already have a cadence in mind that you was wanting to use for this one?
Not really. I just kind of I didn't have one in mind.
Okay, I'll just make it sure before I
Yeah.
do my thing and like totally change something, the flow.
Yeah,
or
yeah, I'm
something like.
open. Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
open. Yeah, open to any changes and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna keep scatting for just a little bit. He stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what you to embody. Be stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Be stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody. I should have recorded that one. That was fire. Be stole upon me, power up. Be stole upon me, power up. Stole upon me. Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful.
Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me.
Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the. Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me self-worth for lifetimes. No longer rage from my abuse became.
Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm
What
so
do you think about that?
I gotta hear it again because I have to get
Stole
my
upon
track.
me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me self-worth for life.
Stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card, it's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me
That sounds
self-worth
too
for
fast
life.
though, right?
You said what now?
It sounds too fast, right? Too fast?
It's not.
Or-
It might. I
or-
mean, it don't sound too
or-
fast to me, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, but it may be. If it's too fast,
Oh,
then we may have to take some words
shifting my
out
body.
because it's got a lot of room for stress words and stuff in there. So like shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body, and then I go fast after that. Stop playing the victim card. It's not what I choose to embody.
I like the flow though. I'm not gonna lie, I like the flow. It's different.
Yeah,
I like the flow.
play it back again. God be stole upon me, shoulder back, chin up, power steering from shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card. It's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me
still my
self-worth
beat,
for
though.
lifetimes. No longer rage from.
You said what now?
Oh no, I was saying it's still sounds like it's on beat still.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah,
on
it
beat.
doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
Yeah, everything fits on
Yeah.
there. The rhymes are landing in the same spots with each other, like body and body and stuff like that. Power
I like the
steering
flow,
from
though.
shifting my body. Stop playing the victim card. It's not what I choose to
Plus
embody.
the body. Yeah. And it has like a little bit of a flow.
Yeah, the first line
Yeah.
is aggressive, but the second line is more aggressive, so it kind of builds upon the first line. So the first
Yeah.
line is like it's got a lot more like stressed words in there. It's held longer than the other one's just like just da 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 da.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just sit on that one for a little bit. I know it's
Sit-
new. It's the first time hearing it, but I think it sounds good.
Yeah, let's keep it. I mean, we can always change if we want to, but I think for now it's a good start.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can check out this. It's not what I choose to embody.
I'm so grateful you told me self-worth for lifetimes. No longer rage from my abuse became their lifeline. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain
Don't need your consent.
lifeline. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
I could polish that up a little bit right there. I like where you're already going with this. I want to keep that and just kind of polish up the timing just a little bit.
Said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
I'm going to land in the same exact spot where you land on the end there. I love that landing on the end.
Line. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les line. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain. Handled abuse with the utmost grace.
Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
Abuse became their lifeline. Abuse became their
Lifeline.
lifeline. Abuse became their lifeline.
Handled.
Abuse became their
Lifeline handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
Abuse became their
Lifeline handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
Now envision a greater tomorrow. No abuse became their lifeline. Handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face. Now envision abuse became their
Lifeline handled abuse with the utmost grace. Cause Les Brown said if I didn't, it would remain in my face.
Now envision a greater tomorrow.
How's that sound to you?
Good.
Just a little bit of polish, just using the same cadence you already had, just some slight timing adjustments. And it would remain in my face.
Now envision a greater tomorrow. No longer enslaved by your words. Cause I finally let you go. I am deserving of inner healing tonight. I accepted the mental abuse that you imposed, but now I'm taking back my life. It's okay to cry, and it's okay to struggle. But it is not okay to tolerate mental abuse. I urge you to call 1-800-662-5357. Why? Because you are enough.
Yeah. All right, so that's the polish right there. And I'm gonna make a note.
Oh yes, I gotta do the 4 bars.
Yeah, you need the 4 bars.
Okay.
And also during our next session, I'm just going to kind of put a little thought. I'm just going to think about the intro and the outro, kind of like what I
Yeah.
did last time. Like just, you know, from a production standpoint as well, just kind of hear if there's anything else we need to add. Outro. And then also another thing I was thinking of is on the bridge. It might be cool if I add some type of melody or something behind what you're saying. That was just an idea I had, but I didn't have time
Yeah.
to play around
Okay.
with it. But
Okay.
maybe play with adding behind. It'd be like a background voice, like not something that's meant to be in the forefront, but just like another extra layer of like goodness behind what you're saying. I just want to make note of that so I don't forget that. So yeah, so homework. I will send you an updated version of this, so you have all the polish and stuff, and you can practice learning that, and work on writing those 4 bars for the end of verse 1,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it for this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I will send you. I'll send you the updated version of this one. How do you prefer? Do you want it just like all one track, like with the beat and the vocals all on one track together, or do you want like an acapella version of the vocals?
How did you send it last time? I think you
I
sent,
don't even
You
remember.
sent it both. Oh, okay, because
A
I
lot
think
of
you sent it.
A lot of
Both
times I'll
ways.
send it. Yeah, a lot of times I'll send it
Yeah.
like a acapella and the instrumental, and then that way you know for sure that acapella and the instrumental are lined up in time with each other. Because sometimes we move things around on our grid to make sure they're aligned to the beats and stuff correctly, and that way you can have independent
Yes.
control over it on your end when you're like working on the recording. Like if you wanted to hear it by your like the vocals by themselves or something like that, or if you need to turn down the volume of it or whatever, or you could just mute them. Like you could be practicing to it and then you just mute the vocal. You don't have to keep.
Yeah.
You know how like you see me here, like I was able to easily like record my vocals on the parts that I was
Yes.
reworking because I just muted your vocals because I didn't have because your vocals wasn't on top of the beat.
Yes.
So it was a lot easier for me to like work with it, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
If not, I would have had to have your recording over an instrumental, then I had an instrumental, and I'm having to constantly cut between the instrumental and your track to make a reference track out of it. So it's a little bit more complicated that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're good
Got
with
you.
wave
Okay.
files, I'll just send you a wave file of the instrumental
Yeah.
and the acapella, and then you can just load them both
Yeah.
up into your software.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and then I just gotta um put the BPM of it
Yeah,
once um once I upload a new file.
yeah, yeah. And one day, we don't have to do this now, but one day, if you ever want to get more in sync with our collaboration, is we can actually, like, I use this piece of software right here with with some of my students when we're writing songs and stuff, to where we share the same project together, and they
Okay.
literally just load it up. Like, they just load up what you
Oh.
see right here on their end, and they just keep working on it from there. So there's like no
Oh,
like
okay.
passing files back and forth. Like, you just
Gotcha.
go in there and
Oh, okay.
record, and then I write my notes right here. As you can see, I already write notes right here.
Okay.
So yeah, but it takes a little bit more, like, getting it set up and stuff like that initially and stuff. But if you ever want to do that, just let me know and we'll make it happen.
Oh, that sounds good.
But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice for, like, collaborating on a track together, not having to, like, just send stuff back and forth, and
Yeah.
just less work. Once you get it set up, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that one was that the same one you told me before, Reaper?
Yeah, Reaper.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my main dollar choice now these days.
Okay.
I'm kicking my feet up in this DAW. I'm calling this one
Oh.
home.
Wow.
Because
That's good.
I've used a lot. I've used a lot of DAWs over the years. FL Studio, Cool Edit Pro, which is now Adobe Audition, Sonar, Cakewalk Home Studio. I use Reason. I
Yeah.
used FL Studio was one of my first ones. It was called Fruity Loops at the time. I've used Ableton. I've used Audacity for a little bit, mainly to help my students out that use Audacity. Ohm Studio. I use Studio One. And what else? Oh, Cubase. Down here, I got it right here. Cubase. I already said Ableton Live, and yeah. So far, Reaper's just been one I felt comfortable just kind of kicking my feet up and saying, I'm gonna stay here for a long time.
Yeah, wow. That's good. You find something that you like.
Yeah, a lot of my students have really been enjoying it too. It's Reaper's really cool because you can kind of make it work however you prefer to work. Like, it's not restricted. Like these tracks right here, for an example, there's no such thing as an audio track, a MIDI track, a folder, or I have this note track. They're all just tracks, and you can just kind of do whatever you want to with them. Or like these little icons and stuff up here, like you can just customize it however you want. You can add your own icons up here to do whatever you want to when you click it.
Nice.
Like this right here, they have this thing called spectral peaks, where I can click here and it changes the color of the waveform, where I can see all the really sharpest parts of a vocal and stuff like that. That's the instrumental. I just did it too, but just little things like that helps with, like, vocal editing and finding, like, these little red pieces right here, like really sharp S's and stuff. So if I was mixing a vocal, which I've been doing a lot of mixing lately, it makes it a lot faster for me to go in here, just grab these little sharp S's and pull them down manually if I want to take a manual approach to, like, de-essing a vocal and making it less harsh. But yeah, it's like I can make it do whatever I want it to do. Like, I love it. It's not locked in, like, where you're, like, at the mercy of whoever designed the software. You're like, I'm sorry, our program just doesn't have that feature. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You're like, dang, man, it sucks.
Yeah, it's limited. Yeah, there's a lot of limitations.
And right now I'm working, I think I may have told you this already, but one of my other students specializes in, like, networking, like setting up networks for, large companies and facilities and stuff like that. And me and him's about to start working on, what we did with Cubase, VST Connect, where I'm recording you remotely? We're
Yes.
working on being able to do that in this program.
Oh, wow.
So that would be a dream come true, so I can do everything in one program. That's the only reason I use another program right now, which is Cubase, is for, like, tracking people's vocals remotely. That's another big part of what I do, but I can't do that in Reaper quite yet. So we're going to work on being able to do that. That right there,
That'd be cool.
man, that'd be
That's
fire.
cool.
That'd be fire. Because right now, like, I'm about to work with one of my students here in a moment that's in Boston, and we're recording at a studio there remotely using Cubase, And then once we get done, I take all of our vocals out of our session and I bring them back into our Reaper project that we're sharing together. So she has access to all the recordings that we do live together, and then I put them in our
Dope.
project, and so she has access to all that too. So
That's the.
yeah, it's fire. It is noise.
Oh.
But yeah, if you ever want to take that jump, you know, I'll work with you on setting it up and all that stuff, like on the house, just to get you set up and running and stuff like that, like
Yeah,
free,
seems cool.
just to get you going. And yeah, it's dope, man. Cubase is fire. But we just share our stuff like in a Dropbox folder, and so that way, whenever you record something, it was happening during our session today. I seen one of my students recording in one of our other projects we're going to be working on tomorrow. I could see them updating the recordings live.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
like, oh, they just added X amount of new recordings to your project. You know, it's fire.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we advance, right? Yeah,
You say what now?
definitely. No, I said that's good. Like to know, like as far as like as we advance, and when it comes to these, in these sessions, that we can definitely do something like that. It's a lot easier and faster to move.
Yeah,
With the tracks that you said, less time consuming with the sending tracks via email and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And it gives me a little control to kind of help you guys out because I can already have everything set up for you. You just jump in there
Oh
and
yeah,
you get to work. You know,
yeah, okay.
you don't have to worry about setting the project up, putting the tempo in there, naming the files, what's the tempo, what's the key of the song. I can already be taking note, like, the notes was taken in Google Docs.
Yeah.
Those notes would normally be in here.
Oh, okay.
I just take notes wherever we need to work on things, and you have those notes to go by. So they're already in time, where they need to be at.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That little note feature, it's such a
That's
simple
cool.
thing, but it's like such a big deal to me now. I use these notes
Yeah,
like crazy. Like,
yeah, that's helpful.
yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, it's different than GarageBand because GarageBand you only could put them on the side,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all you have. Which I mean, I use when I was doing demos more often. I would put them, the lyrics on the side,
Oh yeah,
but not really for note taking. You know what I mean? I would do that on like a separate, like on a sheet of paper or something.
yeah,
But I'm glad you mentioned that. This is cool that you can do that within the program and not have to do it like on the side.
yeah. Like
And
the comment in a doc or like
yeah,
timestamps, because like
yeah,
usually the way we would work, it'd all be timestamps in a Google Doc, and so you're constantly like, okay, what time is that? Okay, 1 minute and 18
yes,
seconds to one. Okay, let me
yeah,
find that over here.
mm-hmm,
1 minute and 18 seconds. Okay, that's this part right here. Okay,
yep,
it's just way more
yep,
back and forth, and if we can keep ourselves like in one place, it just makes a better workflow.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's good. Yeah,
But yeah, just let me know if you ever want
yeah,
to try it out, and I'll get you set up, bro.
yeah. I appreciate that. That's good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to upgrade anyway, but I know it's like this that step, the leap of faith is a different. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, trust me, I get it, bro.
Yeah,
As busy as I
yeah,
am, man, like
yeah,
productivity is everything to me. Like I gotta
yeah,
be fast at everything I'm doing. I gotta be
yeah.
fast, and
That's true.
like that's what took me the longest to like go from FL Studio to Studio One. It was just okay. I got to learn a whole new program. I know it's gonna take me a lot
Yeah,
more time out of my weeks and stuff like that. But I spent a little time in Studio One. I'm like, dang, this is like saving me already. I can just tell it's so much easier for me to do things in this program than it is FL Studio. So I was like, dang, I got to go ahead and make this jump. And then same thing with Reaper. I took God knows how many hours, bro, like learning this thing, programming it to like stuff like this, where I got my little buttons and stuff and customized to make this do things that I want to do for like mixing and making beats and stuff to make stuff so much. I can just hit a button, boom, it just does what I need it to do. Like way less clicking. It just makes it so much faster. Like mixing now, I mix songs a lot faster now in Reaper because it just allows me to reference tracks a lot faster and do things a lot quicker than I otherwise could, like in something like FL Studio, for an example. So it's like they say it's before you chop down a tree, take time to sharpen your axe, and it's gonna make your job a lot easier. But the sharpening the axe part is like sometimes I ain't got time to be sharpening my axe right now. I got
mm-hmm,
stuff to be doing. Like
mm-hmm.
I'll worry about that tree later. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I like that.
But yeah, it's it's a great piece of software. And it's another thing too is it's super
Yeah,
fast. Like it's super lightweight. and you never had to worry about like getting locked out of a version. Like some of these programs, once they update, like let's say you go from Studio 1.5 to Studio 1.6, you'll start getting notifications if someone sends you a Studio 1.6 saying you can't open this because it's from a newer version of Studio 1 that you have. None of that with Reaper. Like this software right here can run on like a Windows 95 computer, like something super old. You can still run this on there.
That's crazy.
It's super lightweight, and you feel it after a while. Like I live in this software. Like I spend, this stuff is like open 90% of the time I'm on my computer. I'm in a DAW.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fast. Like, and it doesn't have a lot of bugs and stuff like that. It's super lightweight.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it ain't no pressure. But if you ever want to make that jump and like streamline the collaboration even more, just let me know, and I'll work with you on getting it set up on the house on me, just to make sure you're all set up. And I've already got notes and stuff I've already taken, like cheat sheets and stuff like that, to where you won't have to figure anything out. Like I got everything already figured out for you, basically.
Oh wow. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I've done a lot of customizations to it and stuff, and I can have it set up to where you already have all that stuff out the gate. Like all the hours I spent like making this thing do how I want it to, make it work the way I want it to work, you don't have to go through all that. I've already done it. So yeah. So you just let me know if you ever want to do that, and I'll hook you up, bro.
I appreciate it. Oh, that's cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But so I will send you the wave and the instrumental, and we got a video recording this time. Let me double check that.
Cool. Happy about that.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that last session was fire. I'm like,
It
oh,
was. I was so disappointed. I'm like, man, that was like
Yeah.
a therapy session at the end. I'm like, dang. Like, I was so disappointed, bro. I'm like, what? I mean, that was a good one. Like, all of our sessions are good, but that was just on some therapy type stuff. That was like, it was a really deep one, man. We was going deep on like
Yeah, it was.
narcissism and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was like, man.
Yeah, but it'd be all right. It'd be all right. But yeah, but I got this one recording. I see it still recording. So I'll shoot you the update recordings and stuff. You'll work on like learning the polished stuff that we did today, work on writing those 4 bars, and just keep me posted on the instrumental. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see where that goes. We'll see where it winds up, and we'll kind of take it from there and figure that out. So
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, I definitely keep you posted. During the week to see what's going on with that, and then I guess as far as the next session, finishing up the polish, right?
yeah, the polish is pretty much
done, right?
It's pretty much done at this point. I'm just gonna double check the intro and outro from a production standpoint. Like just listening for that, seeing if there's anything I need to help out with, like the delivery of anything.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the polish is done at this point. It's mainly the rapping stuff. We'll double check those 4 bars. If I need to help out with that, I will. But yeah, I'm thinking for the next session, maybe part of it is double checking the polish stuff and making sure there's nothing else that we need to add. Then maybe we might do some you remember before we did some like recording stuff where I was like coaching you through like delivery
Yeah.
and stuff like that. We might like hop into doing some of that to kind of prepare you for your next studio session and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna help a lot.
Yeah, or who knows? We'll see where we're at, because who knows? You may have the beat by the end. You may have the mix by the end. We may need to talk about that or something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make a note of that for our next session. Check. Richards learning a polish and new 4 bars of verse 1. Second half of session may do some live recording in Cubase to work on delivery, enunciation, that type of stuff. And okay, cool. All right, bro. And as usual, man, and you know I mean it. If you need anything else in the meantime, just holler at me. Shoot me an email. If you need some feedback or something like that in between now and next session, just let me know. And I'll get all this stuff sent over to you, bro. And yeah, bro, pushing another one out the door, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it, bro. Let's get it, man.
I'm excited.
Me too, man. Just but yeah, just keep me posted, man. Holler at me if you need anything else. But I'll get this recording sent over to you probably like, I don't know, today or tomorrow, whenever I can get it exported out and stuff like that. But,
In the world.
all right, bro.
Get it.
Well, you have a good one, man, and I'll holler at you.
So, appreciate you, bro.
All right, you too,
Thank you.
man. Peace.